Hello, everyone. Today we will be discussing the two differing concepts of comparative psychology and classical ethology, which was something I struggled to understand in class. Let's begin with classical ethology. This concept was brought to notice by two researchers, Tinbergen and his contemporary Lorenz. This method of research focuses on behaviors that developed from natural selection due to the behavior allowing the species to better survive within its environment and why. Although this can be studied within a laboratory, most of the research with ethology comes through observing a species within its natural habitat, and additionally, the behavior in question is displayed within every individual of a species, making it a stereotyped behavior. An experiment with the gray-lag goose used methods of classical ethology, studying the behavior of geese rolling their eggs back into their nest with their beak. This experiment, conducted by Lawrence, led to the discovery of fixed action patterns in animals. This is a heavily stereotyped behavior which is triggered by a releaser, or some sort of form of stimuli causing the action pattern to begin. And no matter how many times an egg was rolled out of a mother goose's nest, in this experiment, she would keep rolling it back in. And the same was seen when the egg was replaced with a light bulb, an 8-ball, and even a red wooden cube. Multiple different items were used to replace the egg of varying shapes, sizes, colors, and textures to rule out what about the egg is exactly the releaser or the stimulus for the fixed action pattern of the beak of the goose rolling the egg back in. Lorenz figured it out that it was most likely the spherical convex of the shape of the egg, its size, and additionally, its location compared to the nest, how close it was. Objects placed farther away did not cause a fixed action pattern, but when placed close to the nest, even a red cube could pass as a white egg for the mother goose. Fixed action patterns can also be chain linked, meaning the response by an organism to a previous releaser is the releaser itself for the next action pattern. Apart from classical ethology, comparative psychology focuses more on behaviors in animals that can be studied to learn something similar within humans, and is mostly done within a laboratory setting to allow the researchers to manipulate the environment, reduce confounding variables, which could uh, skew the data and the observations that were made. Usually, the ability to learn and how learning affects behavior is prioritized in this type of research, and the findings allow the comparison of behaviors between animals and humans, which can be beneficial to psychologists to better understand the processes that go into decision making, understanding, learning, amongst other behaviors in humans that we cannot study ethically, but can with animals. This concept of classical conditioning was discovered using the methods of comparative psychology. The idea is to make an unconditioned stimulus, such as a visual cue, sound, etc., that doesn't cause an animal to have a response, become associated with a stimulus that does, eventually making the two stimuli bring out the same response. With loggerhead sea turtles within a lab at UNC, they performed some sort of dancing display in their tanks whenever food was brought and shown to them, and it was always brought within an orange tray. Now, eventually, with time, any object that was orange in color and somewhat similar in shape and size to the tray would trigger the turtle dance, even though there was no food present or shown. The conditioned stimulus, which was the food originally, brought out the dancing response within the turtles. After associating the large orange tray with food to the turtles over time with repetition and consistency, the turtle now associates the visual cue of the color orange with food, causing them to dance. The orange unconditioned stimulus is now a conditioned stimulus for the turtle dance. It has been paired with the food. Classical conditioning seen in turtles, dogs, and other animals is shown in humans too. For example, a personal anecdote. When I was in middle school, my friends and I, like all friend groups, would roughhouse once in a while, and this involved a deadly method of tasing. For a week, my friends would play a buzzer sound whenever they planned to surprise tase me, and then after that week, they would play the sound and did not tase me, but I still responded by entering a defensive position and suddenly becoming alert. So the buzzer, which was originally an unconditioned stimulus, became a stimulus that brought out the same response of being alert and defensive as the tases originally did. This is one way comparative psychology on animals can be used to model human behaviors and can be used against me by my friends back in the day. Overall, to summarize, the classical ethology focuses on natural observation of the behavior of a species that allowed it to be more fit within its environment, and is more of an innate behavior, which is coded into the genetics more so than learned. Comparative psychology focuses on studying behavior, especially learning, within laboratory environments to be able to model and compare animals and humans with each other, and theoretically apply these findings to human psychology. Thank you.